Hello, welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show, where we'll be discussing leadership, business, and human potential, inspiring you to live rich from the inside out. Unlock your creativity, stretch out of your comfort zone, break through your barriers, take inspired action, and achieve epic results. Now, here's your host, two-time best-selling author, speaker, and certified executive coach, Debra Kasowski.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's podcast. If it's your first time here, I want to welcome you to the Millionaire Woman Show podcast. And I'm excited to have you here as a new listener. Don't forget to hit the bell to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode, or subscribe on our iTunes channel or your favorite podcast player so you don't miss a single episode. And also, if you're returning, we want to welcome you back and thank you for being continued support and making sure that you subscribe as well to your favorite podcast player, or clicking to ensure that you're receiving the videos from YouTube as well. So I want to welcome you all. It's really exciting as we talk about strategies and principles that really help you grow in life, in running a business, or leading an organization. So today I wanted to talk to you about listen to learn. And it's all about curiosity, one of my favorite topics, about really thinking about being curious about what's being said and really hearing. So people talk about hearing and listening. There is a huge difference between the two. When you hear something, you hear a sound, like a door slamming, something dropping on the floor, or the flipping of pages, or the busy tone on a dial tone. So these are all sounds you hear, right? But listening is really an action-packed event. Listening is really concentrating, having attention and focus on what is being said. The problem is many people are listening with intent to reply to what is being said versus with intention just to listen to what another person's saying. So one of the things that we need to do is pause without replying. Imagine if you needed to repeat the conversation to someone at a later date or share the information. And I often will use the example of the Seymour. The Seymours are the people who gather information and then go to someone else higher up in an organization or the boss in a business, and they will provide information. So here we are carrying information from one to the other. Do you remember playing the game telephone when you were a kid? That, can with a string, and every time the message is repeated, it changes. So the challenge is to make sure you're listening and gathering that information so that you can repeat it so it doesn't change. And making sure that that information you're sharing is relevant and significant to the person you're sharing with. Because often when you're sharing, you're not sharing the whole conversation, you're sharing the highlights. So when you are really listening, you want to be gathering information. And if you're in an organization, you want to be taking notes to make sure you're not missing a single point and that you're articulating the information clearly. And one of the greatest tools, a part of reflective listening, is to repeat back what you heard to make sure you fully understood what is being said. So a couple things that I wanted to talk to you about was not only the difference between listening and learning, and there's a Chinese symbol for listen, and I love the symbol from when the explanation I was doing in the research is paying attention with your eyes, your ears, but listening from the heart. So it's really understanding and paying attention to the tone, the inflection in the words. And when I talk about inflection in words, it's amazing. If we wrote down a sentence, I could share the same sentence with you 5 times. And if I put inflection or emphasis on a single word, a different word every single time, even though it's the same sentence, it could carry a different meaning to you. and how you interpret that sentence. So I want you to really listen to the tone. And if you have someone in front of you, you can start paying attention to their body language. One really good tip when you're having a conversation with someone is if you're wanting to be totally engaged with someone, you want to have your feet facing theirs. If someone has a foot facing out, their body language is saying, I want to escape. I want to go in that direction. So that's one of the tips when you're starting to talk with someone and really looking at their body language. Are they fidgeting? Are they got their hands in their pocket? Are they crossing their arms? What are they doing? When you have that opportunity, we don't always have the opportunity to see someone's body language, how they're reacting. Are they smiling? Are they angry? Are they sad? To ensure that the words match the emotion that you feel when you're speaking with someone. The other thing I want you to do when you're having a conversation with someone is eliminate all distraction. If someone comes by your desk to speak with you, don't continue typing. Close the screen, lock the screen, turn and face them, and have eye-to-eye contact so that they have your full undivided attention. The other thing is often people will be scrolling through cell phones when people are in a conversation. To turn the cell phone off, put it aside, flip it over, whatever you need to do so that you are paying full attention to the person you're talking to. Many people, when they come home from work or when they're at their work or in their businesses, what they'll do is they'll put their phones on another shelf, or they have a box for being unplugged so that they can put full attention to their work without any distraction, because it is so easy to get pulled into these vortexes of energy suckers who just take away from the focus and the attention that you need to put on the work that you're doing, or the conversations you're having for that matter. The other thing is really coming from a place of empathy. When you are speaking with someone, to think of what is it so I can truly understand, put myself in their shoes. Maybe they're sharing a dilemma that they're facing or a challenge. And if you could imagine what that might be for you, you can perhaps offer a different perspective. But if you aren't able to put yourself in that other person's shoes, you don't have an understanding of where they're coming from, their experiences. And one of the best things in listening is being able to, that empathy is really listening from the heart and diving in and meeting people where they're at. So if someone's sharing a challenge with you, a simple thing to say can mean that, you know what, I can see this is very challenging for you. The simple acknowledgement of recognizing that something's challenging for you, right, allows you to see that someone's meeting you where you're at, not versus where they think you should be. Because everybody's on a different journey in their listening skills and different levels and how they respond or react to situations. So if you can get in where someone's at, you can truly understand and learn to ask the questions that are necessary to come from a place of curiosity, to really ask questions that you can find those answers that they may need. You might be able to help them with resources that they can't get to because they're in the middle of things. And because when they're in the thick of things, they don't see the opportunities, they may not see the resources available to them. And here you are sharing the perspective, opening the doors to say, it's right here. Let me help you. The other thing is, do not focus. Again, do not focus on your reply, really listening in on what it is. And take a moment to pause. Think about after you've gathered that information. It's okay. You don't have to jump into a full, this is my answer kind of thing. What we want to see is that you're being really thoughtful in your response. There's times I've been working with people that they have no filter. They haven't thought about what you said. They might have heard the first sentence and they jump right in and they start telling you a whole bunch of things that are unrelated to the topic. And you're like, you really didn't listen to me, did you? And there's nothing more frustrating for the person who is sharing a story with you or sharing information with you and not being heard, listened to, and feeling valued for what they're sharing with you. Also, be aware, is there anything in the conversation that triggers you? It could be triggers of emotion. It could be triggers of judgment. to really put that judgment aside so you can really critically think about what a person's saying to you. Active listening. You might ask for clarification, reflect back what you're hearing, to really be engaged in the conversation and interested in what the person is saying, again, versus the reply that you want to jump to. If you want to be a good listener, you want to be a good communicator, focus on more than just the words that are being said. Look for the tone, the inflection, understanding, and if you feel confused about anything, some of the biggest conflicts occur because of miscommunication. So take time to truly listen, ask the questions, and come from a place of wanting to learn more so you can achieve more. Listening is one of the most valuable skill sets that you can work on improving every single day. I want to thank you for joining me here on the Millionaire Woman Show. Please go over to iTunes, give us a 5-star high five, write us a review, and please don't hesitate to email me, letting me know how some of these podcasts has influenced or impacted you in a great way. You can email me at Debra@DebraKasowski.com. Go over to my website at www.DebraKasowski.com where you can download your free ebook today, The 21 Habits High Achievers Kick to Achieve Success. And what my goal is for you is to take these skills, these strategies, these principles of leadership, business, and human potential so you can grow wherever you're at, whether you're working in a business, owning a business, leading an organization, or even leading your own life or household, that you're taking these skills to heart, putting them into practice so you can live a life rich from the inside out. I'm your host, Debra Kasowski. Thank you for joining me. Please share this if you feel inspired with other people so we can help the world be rich from the inside out through the Millionaire Woman Show podcast. Have a great day, everyone.